Again, I don't think labels are bad. I think that artists and creatives have to just be a lot more intentional about the types of people that they work with. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hi, I'm Sierra. I'm a 24-year-old creative entrepreneur, strategist, producer, innovator, brainstormer, a whole bunch of other stuff. But yeah, welcome to my channel. I actually feel like I was born for this video. And today we're going to be talking about how to create your own record label. When I was researching for this video to make sure that, and kind of seeing what other people were referring to and seeing like what other advice other people on YouTube were giving in terms of creating your own label, a lot of them, I don't think, how can I say this nicely? And this is no shade to anybody also. I feel like it's coming from this perspective of like, still operating in the traditional way, and I feel like my take is just a little bit different, but I just think that creatives, creative people, whether you're an artist yourself or you're a marketer, you're a storyteller, creative director, designer, etc., producer, DJ, like vocalist, you know what I'm saying, like I think whatever medium you have, especially in the lens of music, I think it's important for you to understand how to monetize yourself. I think that every person is actually going to need to know how to do that. And I was actually on X the other day, and it was like this guy, I'm gonna see if I can find it and put it in the video, but basically, yeah, like the guy was talking about how the future of jobs and economics is people working for themselves. And
virtually everyone is going to be working for themselves. And I believe the way you put it is that the information age is going to reverse the industrial age.
Yeah, if you go back to hunter-gatherer times, how we evolved, we basically worked for ourselves. We communicated and cooperated within tribes, but each hunter, each gatherer stood on their own and then combined their resources with the family unit. But there was no boss hierarchy
yeah,
where you're like the third middle manager down. In the farming age, we became a little bit more hierarchical as we had to run farms, but even those were still mostly family farms. It's industrial work with factories that sort of created this model of thousands of people working together on one thing and having bosses and schedules and times to show up. The reality is, if you have to go, I don't care how rich you are, I don't care whether you're like a top Wall Street banker, if you have to go, if somebody can tell you when to be at work and what to wear and how to behave, you're not a free person. You're not actually rich. So we're in this model now where we think it's all about employment and jobs. And intrinsic in that is that I have to work for somebody else. But the information age is breaking that down.
In the creative space, it would be equivalent to the entertech ecosystem, and everyone basically having their own worlds and their own branded ecosystems and being able to provide for themselves. But in order for you to provide for yourself, sustain yourself, and have something for yourself, you have to know how to operate as that. Because a lot of artists and also a lot of people who work at labels right now, they are operating in the lens, if you guys think of kind of like a car, right? It's like people right now are acting as their own components to support a bigger engine. An artist who may think that they're the star of the show, etc., you're actually a part of a bigger vehicle. You being a part of a vehicle, even though a lot of your power is going into powering this vehicle, the vehicle isn't necessarily sustaining you, but you're sustaining it. Got me? You got me? Okay. I feel like moving forward, a lot of artists are going to, especially those that actually want to make a living, and like being able to also scale themselves and like connect with people and have a lot more creative control and ownership. I think that it's really important for y'all to know, like, you're gonna have to become your own vehicle. If you only know how to be an engine, or if you only know how to be a wheel, or if you only know how to be a window or a car seat, it's gonna require you to think differently in order for you to be your own vehicle. And think of yourself as a business versus the product being sold. Just saying. So we're gonna unpack that today, and I'm really excited. Let's break down what is a record label actually. So just like in the last video when we talked about creating our own TV network, make sure you have your notebooks out and your pen and your paper, because we're about to get into it. A record label at the core is a company that helps musicians, artists, creators, instrumentalists create, distribute, promote, develop, and monetize their music. So in exchange for all of these services that they provide artists, they basically pay the artist out a percentage of those sales of the music, which is called royalties. And something that I'm learning, especially as I'm learning more about IP, which I think, again, every creative should know about, which is intellectual property, aka ways in which you can literally have your ideas as assets and own your ideas, is that labels actually kind of act as IP agencies. And I was talking about this with somebody the other day, which was actually really interesting. And I feel like I cracked the code on labels because they really just act as IP agencies. Confirmation. But at the core, again, IP is simply just the legal ways in which you can own your ideas and basically monetize them. And record labels, most of the time, they have the trademark, copyright, or IP asset of the music of the artist, even though the artist doesn't have it. That's where a lot of the confusion comes in, and why a lot of times you hear artists talking about, oh, I don't own my masters, or I don't have this, or I don't have that, because that is the IP right that the label has in exchange for the services that they provide. I want y'all to know, I do not think labels are necessarily bad. I think that it's important to understand the types of people that work at certain labels, because depending upon the intentionality and the type of person that you're working with in business will basically affect the outcome of that business. So if you're doing business or you're signed to a label with somebody and with people who generally care about artistry, care about integrity, will allow you to, if not have creative control, allow a collaboration where it makes sense, because also as an artist, you're not just representing yourself, but you're also representing the brand of the label as well. So that artists and creatives have to just be a lot more intentional about the types of people that they work with, because there are some not so good people working at labels claiming that they're trying to help, when in reality they're trying to exploit and capitalize off of your creativity and your IP, instead of giving you the right to do that for yourself, or actually wanting to help you understand how to do that for yourself.
Now that's how you clear a bitch.
I want to answer the question, why am I making this video if I don't think labels are bad? And I think artists should just know how to monetize themselves, period. I think that labels right now are kind of struggling, and that's not anything bad. That's just me reading the room respectfully. Still operating in this label system, struggling, and they think that that is the best that it can be, when in reality, nothing great comes easy. But what kind of hard would you want? Would you want hard in terms of, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna get fired tomorrow. Oh, I don't know when my next check is gonna be because the royalty system doesn't make business sense. Or it could be like, oh, damn, I have to learn how to be a business person and how to monetize myself. But I know once I do, I'll be able to copy and paste that, routine. That's kind of what I'm trying to get at, okay? In my theory, especially as y'all know with Entertech and having the intersection between entertainment and technology, I don't really think that labels are going to die, not the majors at least. The majors not going nowhere. You think that they're going to take a lot more hits if they continue to move the way that they move, but they could sustain a lot of these changes that are happening right now if they change their business model. But that's where I'm I don't know if a lot of people would even consider changing their business model into what would be sustainable, because it literally changes how they've done everything. But y'all gonna have to pay me to know more about that. Music is a universal language. I understand how powerful that is. When we were in COVID and the world was really shut down and people were struggling over toilet paper, it was artists that were literally creating what was actually keeping people going during a global pandemic. Understand how valuable that is. As creative people, we provide so much value to the world, but yet we struggle to pay rent. We struggle to economically sustain ourselves. But yet when you look at how much money music, creativity, entertainment make a year, it's not adding up. And the only reason why it's not adding up is because most of the people that are creating these things are not operating like businesses.
Well, yes.
And that is why I'm making this video, so we can get into how to create your own label. I'm going to be using my guidebook, Everything You Need to Know About Entertech Volume 1, as a reference, because I actually talk about a lot of the platforms that we are going to be talking about today within the guide, and it's hyperlinked and it's super interactive. On the music page, we actually talk about BandLab. It's going to be the foundational platform that we are going to be using today. So if you're not familiar with BandLab, they literally have every single function that is actually needed in order for you to do that. And if, let's say, you don't want to create your own label for like other people, and let's say you don't want to have a roster and you're just an artist and you want to create something for yourself, also use BandLab to power your music career on your own as your own business, because this shit is crazy. They broke it down into 3 pillars: create, grow, and earn. Y'all, I don't think y'all understand, like even just looking at this again, I'm just like, this is just so crazy. Like, this literally changes everything. Song starter if you got writer's block, effects, splitter. So my producers, my writers, my musicians, music theorists, instrumentalists, vocalists, everything, one-stop shop. My marketers with Grow, Boost, they have their own internal social media of music lovers that you can actually get feedback. You can promote it with an ad campaign. They have distribution, so you can now go on any streaming service in DSP. Fan reach, I can connect with my fans with no issue, have direct to consumer. Crowd review, people can let me know if my shit is trash or not and what I should release or not. Opportunities, helps me get gigs, helps me promote myself, helps me put myself in rooms that I didn't even realize was possible for me. Let's be for real. Also, quick side note, I'm scratching a mosquito bite that I just got on my foot. And I hate it because it's like the summer, it's literally August, and it's like been on and off raining here in Atlanta. And it's been like so sticky and heavy. So, you know, the mosquitoes are out and they just chomping on me. They're just chomping, munching away. And I'm just like, this is not the type of munching I want, y'all. And last but certainly not least, they have Earn, which is literally help you make some bread. And so it's like you have a tip jar for receiving tips from your fans who just want to be like, yo, this shit is hard. And contest, giving you incentive, show your music, share it around. We want to support. Licensing? They just added licensing? Confirmation? Put it in TV, films, games, apps, and many other forms of licensing. And that right there, guys, is IP. That is the beauty of IP. That is the beauty of IP, being able to promote and do what you want to do with your shit. Okay? I care, and I want y'all to win. Like, this is crazy. So yes, I had to come back inside, y'all. It was really nice. Like, it felt really nice outside, but the mosquitoes were eating me up and I just could not do it. But okay, so this is how we're gonna do it. I feel like I've showed you guys the platform, but I want to give like a hypothetical scenario so we can actually see this play out realistically. Y'all know, like, I can't sing. Like, I'm artistically inclined, but I cannot sing. That is not my skill set. But I do think that I have an amazing ear. We're gonna do a hypothetical record label scenario. We're gonna call it Entertech Records. The tagline is clock in or get clocked out, okay? I think the first artist on this like hypothetical label should just be like a girl group, because I mean, I've always loved girl groups. I mean, I grew up on Destiny's Child, En Vogue, SWV, the OMG girls, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't get their flowers enough, but they absolutely should, especially for like the 2010s. They were holding it down for the girl groups. I'm gonna use the AI platform Udio to create the music. Now, granted, I will not be distributing the music that I create because that is illegal. Udio is a platform that is dealing with a lawsuit right now with the majors. However, the platform is really tight though, and I'm not gonna get in trouble, okay? This is a hypothetical scenario. I will say that the girl group, I don't know. I feel like the name of the group should be like a play on words. Oh, okay. What if we call it Audio, but it's spelled like AWDEO? Audio. I like that. So I'm gonna go on Udio really quick, and I'm gonna make like 3 songs, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just made 2 AI songs for the girl group Audio. They're like 2 different vibes. Oh, the first song is about, you know how in the early 2000s it was always like, my man ain't treat me right, I'm gonna go to the club and hang out with my girls type shit. So that's what this song is about, and they named it After Show Vibes. And so I'm just gonna name the song ASV. Also, I'm low-key thinking what I might do is actually make this a series, because I also don't want to make an hour-long video. You guys know the platform that we're gonna use. We're gonna pick the song, And then next week, we're gonna like actually get into the whole brand development of the label that we're creating. I think that's gonna be actually really fun. And I think that we should actually do that for real. So you guys let me know what song we're gonna use in this case study experiment. And then you guys will find out what song that we use in the next video. I like that because I also, as I'm still getting used to YouTube, it's like helping me pace myself. And also makes this like a collaborative effort, so you see this in real time. Like a lot of people, when they actually do create labels and they do artist development, it's not happening all in a day. It's not happening all in one video. It's not happening in like 25 minutes or less. So we're gonna listen now.
Boy, what do you think is cool? Do you know what I'm about to do? You think you got me fooled? Little do you. I'm out tonight with my girls, but I don't care in the world. Keep on and stay in the DM. I just might give you a spin. Let's go.
So the second song is called Echoes of the Past, but I'm gonna rename the song to Spin the Block. And it's about when you're living your life and just so successful, and then you run across or somebody from your past that did you dirty. And not even a man, like I'm not even talking about romantic relationships, like I'm actually talking about friendships, because we don't really clock that tea. We don't clock how it's like friendships could literally be toxic, friendships could literally be abusive, they could literally be actually a lot more detrimental if you don't have a level of discernment to like remove yourself when you realize that something is off, right? Yeah, this is about when you're living your life and you're being successful and living out your dreams, and then an old friend tries to spin the block like they ain't do you dirty. Like, what you mean? Like, no. So this is Spin the Block.
Ooh, isn't it funny? How there's a time in life where you're making money, you change, and then someone from the past decides to come back and try to make a pass. Let's go. I'm not even talking about a man at all, old friend that you with it, that's bad. No. But why the fuck are you even here? I don't forget, I'ma hit you with a spear. That's so, and it's technique.
Those are the two options, ASV or Spin the Block for Audio's first single. If you like option one, drop a lightning bolt in the comments. And if you want the second song, drop, what do I want to do? Knife. If you want the first song, drop a lightning bolt. If you want, my Scorpio moon definitely just popped out. If you want to do the second song, drop a little spear knife emoji, a spear knife emoji in the chat, or in the comments. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The song that gets the most votes in the comments will be the winner, and we will see part 2 next week. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. To be continued.